All right, guys, we are going to get right into it. Gennady Golovkin will hurt Manny. Former Gennady Golovkin trainer Abel Sanchez weighs in on potential Pacquiao bout. Now, you guys wanted to hear about Pacquiao, Gennady Golovkin. You voted, so we're going to talk about it. Manny Pacquiao is a small fighter. I believe he started as a flyweight, so the size difference would make a difference, said Abel Sanchez. Sanchez also referenced a bout between Margarito, but added Gennady Golovkin is on a different level. I see Manny having moments, but then Gennady Golovkin basically knocks him out, and that's exactly what I think. Also, I have a quick Gennady Golovkin update at the end. You guys stay tuned. So, you know, guys, let me read this real quick. He isn't even a welterweight, let alone a middleweight. His best fighting weight is 140, 147. I think he's pretty much outsized by all good welterweights, Arum said. And I agree. You know, totally agree. But then again, you got Freddie Roach out there saying, you know, yeah, I think Manny Pacquiao could do it. You know, he could pull it off. I mean, maybe these guys are like hung up on the past, I think, you know, possibly. You know, I don't know. Of course, Bob Arum, it's a dumb fight. I know Golovkin appears to be over the hill, but it's a fight that could be very dangerous for Pacquiao. I mean, look at what he's doing to Gabriel Rosado here. You know, look, here's what everybody thinks, because he had a tough fight with Sergey Darbianenko. He's done. Arum believes, however, that the Thurman fight can't be considered a barometer for Pacquiao's performance. And that's another thing. All the Pacquiao fans are saying, well, look what he did to Keith Thurman. Well, you know, Keith Thurman was, what, maybe 70% at best. Been out of the ring for like 2 years, I think, at that point. Got married. He was running a nightclub, you know? So now right here, Earl Spence trainer Derek James doesn't see the need for a tune-up fight. See that guy clapping? I'm applauding with you, buddy, because you guys know I'm against these tune-up fights, this whole Zermeta thing. By the way, we're going to talk about that too. And I bring up, you know, Spence, because if Gennady Golovkin is going to fight any welterweight, it should be someone like a Spence or a bigger welterweight. Why Manny Pacquiao? But you know, look, we can't hate on Triple G, because Gennady Golovkin, I haven't heard one single thing out of him, you know, promoting or talking about, you know, a potential Pacquiao, you know, fight, right? I mean, it's only Freddie Roach and of course, you know, Manny Pacquiao. He's talked about it a few times. But, you know, Golovkin, like I said, there's a few updates here. You know, he's talking about how now he's blaming Canelo for the trilogy not happening. I mean, look, guys, I can't keep up. These guys keep going back and forth, back and forth. Now, you guys remember, it was Jonathan Banks. You know, he was saying, you know, yeah, Canelo sent us an offer and we declined. You know, we don't want the fight right now. We want to defend the belt against Zermeta, and then we might take another fight, and then possibly a Canelo fight. And I'll show you a little screenshot right here. Okay, there's Jonathan Banks and his quote. I mean, you guys know I've made tons of videos about it. You know, but now Golovkin came out 2 or 3 days ago, finally broke silence, right? You know, he's been MIA, hiding from the media, whatever. He comes out and says, oh, no, you know, it's Canelo's fault, right? They came to us in the fall, and how did it go down? Let me get the timeline correct. Okay, so Team Golovkin went to Canelo in the fall, and Canelo said, no, we don't want the fight. Then Canelo comes to Gennady Golovkin during the lockdown, you know, beginning of 2020, somewhere in there, and then Golovkin turns it down and says, no, we already have a mandatory, you know, I've been training, my mind is on this fight and all of that, and, you know, we'll fight you next, or maybe in 2021. You know, so, guys, it's been so crazy. It's like this back and forth, you know, he said, she said. We don't know what is going on. But what I think happened, like I just gave you the timeline, I think, you know, that they tried to get the Canelo trilogy, you know, probably at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. And they, you know, Team Canelo turned it down, right? And then the whole lockdown pandemic hit. And then they sent an offer, and Golovkin goes, no, you crazy? Like, we're under lockdown right now. We can't train. Like, everything's shutting down. You know, so in Golovkin's defense, I mean, you know, but okay, let me back up, guys. It's very complicated. You know, but Jonathan Banks, he didn't specify. He didn't clarify that point. He didn't say, you know, hey, we tried to make it happen. They declined. So now we're declining. And plus, we got the lockdown. You know, no. He just said we have an IBF mandate or a mandate. Well, I believe it was IBF. Yeah, a mandatory. You know, that's all he said in multiple interviews. I think I showed you guys like 4 or 5 different interviews. And again, I already showed the little picture. And I'll show you another picture of Golovkin, you know, making his statement in the update in a current picture of him on Twitter. You know, like I said, finally, it seems like he's like training and getting back out there, hanging out with fighters, you know, getting his mind right to get back in the ring, you know. So, but guys, look, I don't know. The drama, it's getting a bit too much for me. And then now, you know, we're hearing about this Pacquiao fight. I mean, Golovkin needs to get a handle on his career. You know, he's got, you know, what, I think 3 more fights with DAZN, I believe. How many? Let's see, Rolls, Vanessa Marty Rosen. Is it 3 or 4? I don't remember. Whatever, guys. My point is, I believe he has 3 fights remaining. He needs to, you know, at least give us 1 or 2 meaningful fights, right? And you guys know that IBF, is it the freaking IBF? My God, my brain is so foggy today. Yes, it's the IBF. What am I thinking? Yeah, it was a vacant IBF with Darby Checo and Gennady Golovkin. He won it. Okay, so my point is, guys, that, you know, Golovkin needs to get back on track here. You know, I don't know. I feel like he's kind of coasting through. He's got his $100 million, plus he's already made another $100 million. I mean, I would say Golovkin is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, probably more, you know, with like sponsors and all that, you know. So, I don't know, guys. But as far as Manny Pacquiao goes and Golovkin, you know, I'm not about that. You know, is it a fun fight? Let me back up my video, guys. Is it a fun fight to think about? Sure, why not? But, you know, this is not the Manny Pacquiao that fought Margarito, right? And that's what I hear a lot of people saying, oh, look what he did to De La Hoya, look what he did to Margarito. Or they even brought up Eric Morales, you know, which, you know, to me, that's kind of a, you know, not really a good comparison. But I don't know why a lot of people are bringing that fight up. Eric Morales was not that big. I've met Eric Morales. He's a small dude, you know, so I don't know. I mean, but who do you compare it to? Cotto, maybe? I don't know. Cotto, again, not that big. You know, it would have to be Oscar De La Hoya or Margarito would be the only two, you know, fighters that you could go back and make that comparison. But again, guys, that was a long time ago, you know, so I just, you know, I'm not buying that. You know, I want to pull up BoxRec real quick. I'm looking to see if there's anyone. I'm looking at BoxRec right now. Yeah, you got Thurman, Adrian Broner, Matisse, Jeff Horn. I mean, look what Jeff Horn did to him. You know, he bullied Pacquiao around. Now, I believe Manny Pacquiao won that fight. But, you know, my point is, you know, if he gets in there with a bigger guy right now, Gennady Golovkin will get him on the ropes and he would knock him out. Guaranteed. It'd be another Marquez. It'd be an ugly sight. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think, I know for a fact that Golovkin, it would make him look terrible in the media. I mean, could you imagine what these biased channels would do if Gennady Golovkin actually fought Manny Pacquiao? But let me end it here. Here's the irony. They totally support, you know, Earl Spence, you know, fighting Mikey Garcia. No problem. Totally cool. You know, we can back that up. But so, you know, you guys know there is a biased, you know, way of reporting in boxing. You guys know it's no big secret, right? You know, so again, I think it would make him a target. It would be a terrible move. Pacquiao would get hurt. I would bet my channel on it. I would literally bet my channel that Pacquiao would get flattened, completely knocked out. And I'm a huge Manny Pacquiao fan, guys. So I don't know. Like I said, you guys wanted to hear about this. I don't really know what to say about it other than the obvious. And the obvious is, you know, Golovkin needs to put, you know, meaningful fights together. Just forget about this whole Pacquiao nonsense, right? I mean, yeah, it's a fun fight to think about. I would watch it, right? I mean, I would definitely watch it, but, you know, it wouldn't end well for Manny Pacquiao. So, all right, guys, leave a comment below.